Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today I would like to talk about the global food prices from the month of April to the month of July in the year of 2024. I'm doing this because I received a request from a viewer. I have been waiting for the response because I was thinking about doing regional food prices. But then I feel like, everything is so connected globally, so maybe I can just do it in a, just globally, right? Um, so first of all, the way I'm gonna do this read is I'm gonna talk about the Celtic pros spread for the food pricing on a global level, and then I'll talk about the monthly. So there will be a four-card spread for each month, how consumers are gonna feel about the food prices. Yeah. So first of all, I'm gonna do this first. The Nine of Swords before April, I think there are a lot of worries about food prices. It must be problematic for many regions, not a single region, but globally. There were worries. Right now, Knight of Cups means that there is good news. Um, Knight of Cups can also mean invitations. So, um, whatever invitations that will happen right now in regards to the food prices, they will help alleviate the situation. What kind of invitations? Um, this kind of invitation, it is about emotionally related concerns. Um, it is not totally about the practical side of things, um, but it is more like an assistance. Because Knight of Cups energy is about emotions and emotional truth, and also is about a quest to pursue something. This can be some kind of discovery of new food sources. Um, and it can also mean, in generally, some kind of good news that people feel supported about the food prices, all the matters related to food. Um, yeah, Knight of Cups also means logistics that involves crossing waters, but not really um, overseas that kind of thing. So because Knight of Cups, even though we see the water, it is about the rivers. So I would say there might be situations where the amount of water will affect the prices of the food. Um, so I think for some places where the food sources are related to water, they have some concerns about it because in this spread, I see a lot of water and soil. So what I can immediately think about is something they grow on land, um, if the water is okay, then the land will be fertile, right? But if the rivers are having too much water or too little water, that can have a huge impact on the soil. Um, I also think there are some concerns about the kind of seafood that are being collected in small rivers, but I'm not talking about the ocean because I don't see a lot of water in this spread. I see small rivers on this spread and mainly the soil. So I think the small rivers and the soil, their conditions can be crucially related to the food pricing, at least from April to July 2024. Five of Wands on top of this spread means there are struggles, there are conflicts on the land. So I believe that among farmers there are conflicts because they are fighting for whatever they need to fight for, and everybody has something different that they are concerning about. And things are going towards all kinds of directions. That's why there are conflicts. There are conflicts that they need to deal with on the land. Eight of Pentacles crossing Knight of Cups means that there are things that are the food market is working on, and it is around 80% done, and the other 20% is still pending. So it is also a card about diligently working towards a goal, um, but it's not really fast. It takes time and diligence. So um, there is a situation where there are conflicts and farmers have to deal with it while also diligently working towards supplying all the food they have to supply for the market. So Seven of Wands at the bottom means that it is about protecting the boundaries and you know be firm about what is the most important thing to do. And this person is also on the land. And as you can see, um, you know, this person is trying to put the crops, well, symbolically, this person is trying to put the crops um, onto the lands if we're reading about the crops. Um, so I feel like the concerns are related to crops that they grow on land, can be grains, rice, those kind of stuff that can be concerning for the food prices. I think there might be some problems going on with the land, with the soil. Um, Eight of Pentacles can also mean because someone is building something, and in the process of building things, it actually affects the flow of water and flow of resources to the soil. So those, for some regions, those can be concerning. So I believe that the farmers have to kind of fight for their resources and to prevent what are actually building around them to not affecting their soil, that kind of vibe. The lovers in the recent future means that there will be cooperations and also compromises made among people involved, or actually government, farmers, and the consumers. I feel like there will be a balance coming through in the recent future. Um, the Lovers is also a card about passion. So, more than one party, they come together to create an agreement. So lovers usually means balance also. Um, Knight of Pentacles at the bottom means that progress is slow. So I feel like there are things that related to, I think, the crops, they are growing slowly. And then the Justice card after the Knight of Pentacles means that there will be a major adjustment in regards to growing the crops. Um, I think because there's the change of water and the condition of the soils, so they have to make adjustments in regards to the speed of the crops, those kind of stuff. And the Hermit card means it is a situation where um, wisdom and guidance are needed, and farmers, everyone related to food production, they have to look into the matter and try to be wise about the situation. They have to study from the past histories of, growing of the crops and the weather conditions, all kinds of stuff related to soil. um, they have to look into it and figure it out. The Hermit can also mean, as you can see, this person, they are on the land, but the land is icy. So I kind of feel like there might be production process that will happen in places where they snow a lot. I don't know how it can happen. If they're not producing food over there, at least they will try to investigate the possibility to, you know, to produce food in those regions. They are also trying to figure out, you know, because of the climate changes, the ice is melting, and that kind of thing is affecting the food chain somehow. And from April to July, I believe that there is a concern about the humidity and the water level, that kind of thing. That's why the Hermit can also mean that there are studies around the North Pole and the South Pole and Antarctica, wherever the places covered with ice, there will be ongoing studies about the effects of those regions and the melting of the ice, those effects on the food chain. Eight of Swords at the end of this spread means that there is fear in regards to the food prices. There are limitations, but the limitations is not unsurmountable, because as you can see, this person, um, even though their eyes are, cannot see at this moment, and their hands are tied, but their legs are movable. So it means that they can move away from situations, and there is this flexibility to do so. So I feel like for the food prices in this period, um, even though there are limitations and there are a lot of fear about the food prices, but it's not like it's gonna be a disaster, but there will be interferences about the food prices because of the condition of the soils and the speed of growing the crops, because when the soil is interrupted by some certain situations during the growth of the crops, then it is the interference. So there is the fear of the speed of growing the crops, and are they gonna be ready when they are needed, that kind of thing. So if we're talking about the pricing, I think that there will be limitations because the production is not very stable and it takes a long time to grow the crops, and coupled with um, you know the interference of the weather and the soil condition, that means food prices are still a concern during April to July this year. So the prices are not going to be very normal at times because of the uncertainties about the soil and also the water condition. So these four cards, each card represents each month from April to July about the food prices, how the consumers look at the food prices, how they feel about it. Queen of Cups for April 2024, it means people are feeling emotional about it. Um, Probably there are some concerns, and it's not very stable at times. It can go up and down, and people's emotions are tied to the food prices. So I feel like there are instabilities this month. Next month, Three of Cups. Three of Cups, it is about happiness, and uh, as you can see, there are fruits and also even pumpkins, and those kind of products, I believe that they will have a good time. um, the food that's related to vegetables, it can be there's some sort of harvest for next month, the month of May, and there's happiness and celebration. So probably people will feel good about the food prices situation next month at least. For June, the Hierophant can actually mean something old. The first scenario, it is possible that something old um, will be resurfacing. I don't know if something, when we're talking about food production, something old, there are always food products that require time to produce. Those food might be on the news this time. But if we just talk about the emotions of the people, the Hierophant can mean being conservative. Yeah, being conservative about the situation. So when people need to be conservative about the food prices, that means there are concerns. There might be news that they are concerned about, and they probably feel like they have to follow the older generation's guidance about the situation, because the Hierophant can also mean older generations, old people in general. um, In some rare cases, the Hierophant means, religious places um, where they give out food for people, for the followers. So I feel like maybe in June there might be some problems about the food pricing. Some people might consider going to the church or maybe some religious communities to, look for food support. And because of the situation, some people will think about the old times. Oh, like let's think about how we dealt with the food shortage when we were younger. That kind of vibe. And old people's opinions will be prominent at this time because they have the knowledge about scarcity, um, about how to deal with the possible problems in related to food, this kind of stuff. And I did a clarification card for the Hierophant. The Hierophant means is referring to the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords energy is about um, solving problems in a very hasty manner, but at the same time very logical but hasty and quickly. So I believe that in June there might be a situation that happens rapidly that people have to deal with in regards to food production. So, and in regard, as a result, they have to be very conservative about the situation because it is a situation that happens rapidly. So they will feel like, okay, let's be careful at this time, okay? So June is a concerning month, I believe. At the same time, I believe that June, for old people, they might feel harder to get the food they need. Maybe because the price is higher than normal, and then they feel like, okay, we are retired but we need the food, and then it's, the prices are rising, so what's gonna happen, what can we do? So those kind of stuff might happen. um, at the same time, the Hierophant can also mean that uh, government authorities who are in their old ages, um, there might be some swift changes regarding to their policies. Let's say if they are starting to taking some actions. I hope this is not the case, but Knight of Swords is about fighting. The Hierophant, I've seen it representing some presidents over the world before, not only the US or any particular places, but places who have um, older leaders. Um, in June, maybe they will take some kind of actions, and that action will be rapid, and somehow that will affect the food prices. So I know it's kind of difficult to say because there are many dimensions in June that will actually happen. So, but overall, I would say people feel conservative about food prices in June. So might be, and also Hierophant is a major arcana. So in June, definitely, there will be news about the food prices that we're concerned about. And yeah, but before that, it was okay. Yeah. So after June, we talk about July. July is about Two of Wands. Two of Wands energy is about making a choice. And as you can see, this person is staring at the globe, something globally concerning about the food prices. So I feel like it's from June to July, there might be a global situation where the food prices will change. Um, and if we just talk about Two of Wands energy as an emotional energy, that will be just a mentality of, okay, we have to make a choice. So are we gonna buy this or buy that this time? Can we make better choices to accommodate the situation and the prices? That kind of vibe. So I feel like going into June and July, the food prices might be concerning for many people, so that they have to be conservative and make the right choices. Um, and the Two of Wands is also about someone who is staring at the, you know, the world. So they are trying to make choices based on worldly situations. I hope I hope things will go better on a world level, but I feel like it's gonna be a little bit delicate in June and July. So maybe there's something globally happening during that time. So yeah. So in general, I would say May is a better month for food prices. But then afterwards, there are definitely things that we concern about. So this is my read for the food prices, global food prices from April to July 2024. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please consider giving it a like. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate. And afterwards, I will do another video for a couple other months. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a good day. Take care.